Hey guys, it's been ages since my last video, so hopefully you can forgive me. But I just wanted to share some amazing news with everybody, and that is that I've got 4 levels up since my last video log. No, well there's other news as well. But, however, I leveled up thieving, fire making, got a fair bit of experience from those, and I did get some experience with other stuff. You know, the flasks and the crafting and I did some Slayer with Tom, something RS, and you know, just all this other random junk that you do when you play Scapes a little bit. I haven't been playing hardcore. I've been playing some Skyrim and some other stuff and watching some movies and, you know, working and spending some time with the girlfriend. Oh, that's the other thing. And now I'm engaged. I proposed to Tanya and we're engaged. So leave a comment down below and say how, like, congratulations or well done. There was a debate and it was like, no, you have to say well done to the groom and congratulations to the girl. But then again, you could say well done to the girl because, you know, she got the guy to propose. But, you know, that's a bit really random conversation. I don't even know why I'm sharing that. It was just my friends, they were like, congratulations, and then one of my other friends was like, no, you can't say congratulations to the man, you're supposed to say well done because he proposed. And I was like, whoa, does it really matter? Anyway, I just wanted to share my inventory, which is essentially the bulk of my bank. In my last video log, you saw that I got bandos with my friend Cave Dragons well, obviously from General Grador, in one trip, and we've got both of those, and I paid him whatever half of they were worth, and it's pretty cool because I got my own set of earned bandos, and I had the 80 fish masks, and they were like 2 mil each when I got them. They were 7 mil each, or like 6.8, and they've gone down a mil or so, so that's okay though, because they're gonna bounce back up. I know that they will, because they're a discontinued item. But check out my total value, that's crazy! Like, when I started making videos, I think I had an Ellie, or I was getting an Ellie, like, I don't, maybe I didn't have the Ellie when I first started making videos, but you guys remember when I got the Ellie, and I paid like 280 mil for it, and that was like my entire bank. Now I have a total value of more than double when I first started making videos, and that's essentially just from one investment on fish masks, and other kind of, you know, other money making stuff as well, but mainly fish masks. It's pretty cool. When I think that, like, reading Mod Emily on the forums, she told us that, you know, they think that discontinued items are a fun part of RuneScape because everyone loves collecting rares and stuff. And I think that sadly they're gonna do this through the Squeal of Fortune every time, like at the same time every year. I think they're gonna release one discontinued item in the Squeal of Fortune that's tradable every year, just like the fish masks. So when that item comes out next year, my advice to my subscribers is, seriously, sell everything that you don't need to have fun. Like, I had enough, like, okay, so I bought fish masks and I had I had 100 mil that I could use to do what I need to do in RuneScape, train skills, have fun. I had a Zarite bow for a while. I probably had that in the last video log. And so I've got the money that I need to play the game and to level my skills and such. But then the majority, the bulk of my bank, two-thirds of my bank, 200 mil out of 300 mil, I bought these discontinued items, and now my bank is incredible. So when that item comes out next year, I'm telling you guys that you need to sell everything that you don't need to have fun. It's really hard to explain, but you need to invest in discontinued items when they are first released, because that's when they're in supply and that's when they're cheap. Anyway, that's enough talking about wealth. I'll bring up my adventurer's log, because I'll just show you guys. I did those, got the tassets last, and I talked about that last video log. I just got a thieving level, fire making level, crafting and farming. And I did some duo slayer. I must have got that on a solo slayer task. But that's the other thing. There has been no game-changing updates at all within like the last 2 months. Like, there's been this update here and this update there, duo slayer, Squeal of Fortune update here, Solomon's Store, but nothing as game-changing. Like, there's been nothing as good as, like, the Fight Kiln or a big new quest like Ritual of the Mudra. There's just been not much to talk about. Like, you can notice that with, like, RuneShark's podcast. It's actually a bit sad that they do their podcast and they're fantastic at video making and they're great people to just chat about stuff. But they're having trouble talking about updates because there isn't very many of them. I think that's mainly because most of the development time is going into fixing the combat beta, and you know, me and my friends, we were all happy for the combat beta when we were watching the videos on YouTube. We were all pumped to try it out, but it's it's hard to explain that it's not as good as it could be. There's just a lot of changes. A, we're not used to change, and humans don't like change in general. But secondly, it's devaluing a lot of things. For example, trying to think of an example. Nex armor is really good in the current game because well, your normal life point max is 990, and then you can brew up to a little bit higher with Saradome and Bruise. But in the combat beta, all armor gives life point boosts, and Bandos gives like 6,000 or something. Don't quote me on numbers because I haven't played the beta in a while. So it boosts it, but then the Nex armor only boosts at 1100 higher than Bandos, which you say, oh, that's more than it's boosting now. 1100 is more than 500 boost, but in reality, the percentages are less. That's why Nex armor is going down a little bit. Like if let's just go into the Green Exchange here and go Pernix. Pernix body was like the most expensive Nex drop for a very long time, and now it's like 200 mil. Pernix cow's like 50 mil. Like, things as cheap as chips. Because smart players are realizing that it is going to go down because it's not as good. Like, Nex armor at the moment is pretty OP and it's pretty cool. And like the mage and range gear, Pernix and Virtus give like attack bonuses. Like, you're more accurate with your range because they give range attack, and you're more accurate with your mage because Virtus has the highest mage attack. But that whole accuracy thing is getting removed in the combat evolution, and it's just going to be entirely based on your weapons, not on your gear. I like it now with the system because you've got to have good gloves, you've got to have your defender, your armor, or in range you've got to have your gear that boosts your range attack and your ring and stuff like that. But in the beta, it's just your weapon. I guess it makes sense that armor and stuff's only defensive. In real life, that makes sense, but it's not really RuneScape. Another thing is capes. Like, the Tokar Cal looks amazing now compared to the old one because I was just triangles. Where is it? Where are you? There you are. See, it looks good now. I like how it looks. I'm not going to criticize them. They took Cape Licker's design, which is Rooney Toon, if you've watched her animations on YouTube. They stole her design. I'm assuming she gave permission for them to do that on her video description. But it's essentially exactly the same as her design. She does drawings, animation drawings and stuff. Anyway, in the combat beta, all it gives, this like amazing cape that right now gives amazing stats, that's like 3 attack, 12 defense, 8 strength, 2 prayer kind of thing. In the beta, all it gives is critical hit chance, like critical ratio, whatever it is. It's ridiculous. It doesn't, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to think. The gloves don't give any attack bonuses, and that, you know, Barrow's gloves and stuff is what people use to get attack bonuses and strength bonus. It's a big thing. Like, you can't like go PKing without Barrow's gloves because you're not very effective without them. However, yeah, that's just a thought. The other thing about the combat beta is that they've aligned spirit shields to one combat like style each. Like, the Elysian spirit shield is the ranger shield, and the divine is the melee one, and obviously the arcane's mage. The thing with that is that the reason Elysian and divine spirit shields are good is because in things like Fight Kiln, where inventory, like, you know, the Fight Kiln where you get the Tokar Cal and you got to fight Jads and waves and stuff, is that inventory space is important. An extra brew can be the difference between winning and losing, and you know, you need inventory space for those extra brews or whatever. And if, like, you've got to take all 3 combat styles to do Fight Kiln effectively, because damage is halved on things that, like, if you're using melee and you're attacking a major, your damage is halved, and it's hardcore. It's hard to do if you're not swapping combat styles. So you should need to take range, mage, and melee, and that means that's like a lot of gear. Like, your inventory is usually half filled with gear, and you want to have a hybrid shield so you don't have to swap a shield. So an Elysian, an arcane, or a divine is a really good shield to have in the Fight Kiln in the current game, because you don't need to swap it around. It's already like, you're like, yep, don't have to swap that. Just swap your head, bottom, and maybe weapon, or definitely weapon, and maybe hat, maybe boots if using steadfast or rage fires and swapping between those. But you know, you don't want to have 3 shields and swapping your shields as well. It's just annoying. So that's deflated the price of spirit shields a little bit. They're a little bit cheaper now. And they're making Corp Beasts easier. So you can kill Corp Beasts with any weapon, not just a spear. That's fair enough, but Corp Beast drop rate is so hard. So it's making a boss that was a okay boss to hunt for PVM. Like, I never made any money off Corporal Beast. I've never gotten a sigil drop in a coin share or loot share, and I've killed a fair bit of Corporal Beasts. But they're making it so it's not worth it to do it. Like, Elysian used to be like 450 mil and Divine used to be like 700 mil. It used to be worth it to go with your friends and just camp until you got a sigil or a sigil, but it's not worth it anymore. Or it won't be worth it in the combat beta because it's so rare and the shields are just not worth what they were. The shields from Dungeoneering, from Daemonheim, like the Eagle Eye Kite Shield, the Farseer Shield, and the Chaotic Kite Shield, are better than the Corporal Beast shields. That's just crazy. 200k Dungeoneering tokens is easy to get with someone with 90 plus Dungeoneering. It's not that difficult to do, and they're saying that that's more valuable than a shield that was 700 mil. I understand that the gear has to get better, but I think that Spirit Shields should be a lot better than the Chaotic Shields. Anyway, that's enough of a rant about the combat beta. I'll reset these. Reset. Bam. 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 Okay. They're reset. Very good. I'm very close to a mining and smithing level. 52k off the smithing and 42k off the mining. I'll probably go and do that today, but I am busy today. It's a Saturday. I'm off work for actually 2 weeks, which is fantastic, but I'm driving down to New South Wales, and for those of the guys that don't know, I'm in Australia. I'm an Australian. I live on the east coast, which is where most Australians live, because that's where all the towns are. And you can't live in a desert, because there's too many kangaroos and they eat you. So everyone lives on the east coast, and I'm on the mid-northern side, and I'm going down to the south side, south of Sydney. Sydney's the biggest city in Australia, if people were unsure. You know, Sydney Olympics, 2000. Yeah, anyone was alive then. My subscribers can't be that young. Like, hang on, we're in 2012. I guess if there was like a 14-year-old subscriber, right, and you watch my videos and you're 14, I suppose you wouldn't remember the Sydney Olympics, because you'd be 2 or 3 years old. That's fair enough. Anyway, so I'm driving down to Sydney from here. It's a 2,000 kilometer drive. Tanya and I are going to do it in 2 days, and that's going to be pretty cool. I haven't been on a long road trip by myself. Well, I shouldn't say by myself because I'm with Tanya, but I'm the only. Tanya can't drive. She's still on her learners, so she can only drive. The law is in Australia that you can only drive with somebody that has had their license for a certain period of time. I haven't had my license for 4 years yet, so I can't be Tanya's teacher for driving. So I'm going to have to do all the driving by myself, but that's okay because we're going to have lots of stops and have lots of coffee and lots of Coke and lots of lollies and lots of food. And I'll need to stop to go to the bathroom every 50 minutes because drinking that much soft drink is going to make me need to go to the bathroom lots. And it shall be safe. I'll be okay. If I'm not, we'll talk about that when I'm dead. So yeah, I'm actually excited to have a couple of weeks off work. I haven't had an actual holiday since Christmas, which is pretty crazy. Like, I don't like school. I know that the school system's stuffed up. I'm actually very interested in politics, and I didn't agree with what they were teaching us at school. I don't know if it's the same everywhere. There's probably better countries than Australia, but I didn't like school. School was crap. But the holidays were good. Like, you got holidays every 10 weeks or something. When you start working, you only get 4 weeks of those suckers a year. It is not cool. I want a job that you get like 8 weeks holidays a year. That would be amazing. I'm going to work on that later. Anyway, yeah, so I'm going for a long drive. It should be fun. If you guys have listened to me blab on for this long, I thank you. I'm sorry that I haven't been putting out progress videos weekly like I used to, but I just haven't been making as much progress as I used to. My workload hasn't changed, but I have been doing a couple of other things. Like, I've been playing Skyrim and a couple of other games. I've been having some fun, going to the movies, you know, living life. I still am participating in the YouTube community. I still watch all the YouTube videos by my favorite by my favorite subscriptions, by my favorite YouTubers. That makes sense. Yeah, I'm still watching the RuneScape videos. I'm keeping up with the RuneScape market. I know what's going on. I just haven't been grinding as hard on my skills. And the reason that I haven't been making progress video logs is obviously because I haven't been progressing as much. But we will see. I'm actually getting closer and closer to that max cape as time progresses. I was talking to Tom earlier, and I realized that I only have 4 buyable skills left to get to 99. Smithing, I have to get to 99. That's a buyable. I get most of it from mining, but then there will be 4 million experience that I have to buy. I'll probably do adamant plates or something, and I have to do crafting and construction, and farming is a buyable because tree seeds are expensive. But that's okay. My 600 mil bank with fish masks should be able to pay for all that and have a bit extra cash. I'm planning on actually holding on to my fish masks for a little bit. The plan is to keep them until around Christmas and then sell them off. The reason for that is by Christmas they would have gained a lot of value, and I'm going to want to train up my skills for a bit at Christmas. And yeah, so yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I do appreciate every single person that watches my videos, and I do appreciate the likes and the comments, and I love hearing from people, and I do like hearing from you people. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the not too distant future.